Busy
Yeah.
week, man. Busy week. Last weekend into this week. Out there doing a lot of hunts. Haven't got anything up for the community yet, but I did promise them today that I would get something up for them.
Nice. I got my Claim 6 video up tomorrow, so that'll be up.
Claim 6.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we were talking about, I think I mentioned it on, well, you'll see in the video, I mentioned about the activity in the home, and I think we got a chance to go check out maybe what's going on in their home too. So that's always exciting.
I am ready, because whatever I seen, those eyes, those eyes that were far apart.
Oh yeah, that something was looking. You could see it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, and it was doing this too, like.
Yeah, and the
eyes were far apart.
Yeah, you could see they were symmetrical to each other, like something was looking. And and I posted a little clip from that video of the eyes that I caught in the background that looked like it was looking between the trees at me. And what was interesting, it looked like one eye, could have been an eye, maybe could have been an orb, but it had the appearance of whatever it was like looking back and forth at me. But it was interesting because if you watch it again, or when the video comes out, you'll see it. The eyes move. It looks like they move up and then over behind the tree.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, when I seen that, that made me more inclined to say, whatever it is something is there. It's not in the background, like stationary, because that movement was pretty distinct. So I knew like something was there. Could be some kind of light anomaly or some orb, or maybe something peeking.
Yeah, I think 6 is going to be fruitful. Just that little bit of time that we had there because of the snow, but wow.
Yeah.
And we were hearing things right off the get-go. We did split up. You went down, I went up, and it was like action for both of us. And,
we had peekers at different ends is what it looked like.
Yeah. Pretty good area. Very interested in getting back there when it's not a blizzard. So, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I think tomorrow we should be good. And they have a lot of reported like poltergeist activity in the home too. So if anybody had recently seen us talking to the one author, especially about poltergeist activity and how it relates to similar things in the woods, there's another place where there's some connection somehow. Not necessarily sure it's connected 100%, but it's very compelling, the things we experienced outside, and then all the accounts of what the homeowner was going through inside.
Right.
So, interested to see what happens.
Yeah. I think that's going to be an amazing spot, and they're great people. Great people. So, and how did it go with the author? Man, I wish I really could have been there. That had to be great.
It was cool. The guy has been doing research for a long time. He was from the U.S. He lives in Canada. He's got a lot of information. He's been doing research for many years. W.T. Watson's his name, the Forest Poltergeist. For that podcast, I shadowed that live stream to my channel, and I've got a link for the book and where to find him too if anybody's interested. But it opened my eyes up, and I'm glad I found him because there's a lot of interesting accounts and documented occurrences that have happened. And after reviewing it, I'm starting to notice some pattern of same kind of activity in places we've gone. So it kind of gave me a little bit of insight to like some things to look for in some of the areas we go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good thing too. Yeah. We talked earlier this week about that. Yeah. Very interesting to dive deeper into that aspect of it. And, even with it seems like the Bigfoot and paranormal, but I always say it's all paranormal because it's not normal to us. But I think those two coincide a lot, you know.
Yeah, it seems like the experiences seem to match the claims of people who have experiences with what they claim to be Bigfoot through like the was the BFRO reports and things like that. Their experiences of we call Class B encounters. We've had some of those encounters, had a lot of those encounters ourselves, and so there's something to the the experiences that like everybody has been having everywhere, and we're experiencing them here too.
Yeah. And it's not like, that it's hearsay. We have proof of it, again, with the hand that came out, tried to touch the thermal, that was live, that was right on location. The Jelly Man.
Yeah.
There.
I mean, that's like, you talk about evidence, like they say the Class B, which is when things happen, whether it's noises or actual physical objects that get interacted with you, like rocks being thrown or noises. They call those Class B encounters when you don't actually know what did it, but you experience those. And then the Class A encounters when you actually have a sighting, you actually see something. So that live stream you did that night at Claim 3, when you captured that entity in the red light, I mean, that is, proof that is documented through a YouTube live stream, which, if anybody's wondering, can't be edited. The originals there, the originals that I upload, you can't edit those. So if you want to see it for yourself, go to that video, which I can't remember the name of which live stream that was, but you probably could post it in the description. But you could see it, and that's a Class A encounter of some kind of an entity that came right up to you. And I don't know how many times you can actually get something that's that authentic captured on video. So that's pretty amazing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with the stick orbs there, that was, I think that's what you call them, stick orb. I think that's what I heard somebody say they were.
The little dancing anomalies, I call them.
Yeah, they come like flying right out of the tree. And yeah, that's stuff that's proof. I mean, it's not hearsay. It's all been documented, and a lot more stuff. Like I said, like we were talking about this week, when I said I was talking about what I seen, telling you about what I seen out on a hunt, doing a hunt by myself in this area. Video's coming. That is 100% a Class B, I believe. 100%.
Well, you got a Class A, man. You saw it, like you saw it. So, yeah. And some of the evidence you showed me, the photo, like I said, I would imagine all that's going to hit probably pretty soon.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll see that. And the photo was pretty compelling too, because you can see part of what was there. And it was, so you had some kind of a Class A encounter of something, and it kind of reminded me of one of mine, probably the very first one, which I've only had a few, but one of the very first ones kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah. And was that the one that you were telling me at the cemetery?
Yeah, that was at one of the cemeteries in one of the local counties here, and it was like a taller apparition that was. I happened to get some insight from somebody who seemed to have a medium type of ability, and they were communicating through the chat with me, and they told me to look to the gates. And when I read that, I thought, well, before I looked, I thought, I'm like, gates. And then I remembered there was gates at the sanatorium right there. So I looked to the gates right there. And right when I did, there was a full-blown apparition of a person. And I thought it was a person, like a real person looking at me. And then as quick as I saw it literally like evaporate to the ground and like coast out. And I could see that, like, I don't know, you call it like ectoplasm, kind of like dark smoke that kind of trailed the ground off with it.
Yeah.
That was, for the first time for me to see something. That was the first time I actually seen something. And
Right.
I was pretty stunned, because for a moment, I'm like, that I was looking at a person, and I was like, oh, somebody's here. That was like my first thought. But then all of a sudden, it just, like, literally just looked like it dropped to the ground, and it was just like a smoke trail. And I was like, and this was at night too. It wasn't daytime, but you could still see the smoke.
Yeah.
And that was,
Man.
yeah, when you have one of those, when you were telling me about yours, that's how it gets you. It's like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And after I walked over to that area, like I was telling you, I just had that feeling, you're already creeped out after you see something like that.
Yeah.
You're just creeped out. You're like, okay, I'm by myself.
What's next?
I know what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, like I tell people, you could do this to yourself. You could freak yourself out, And I think that's what I also, on top of freaking myself out, I also felt that I was being watched. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Now, and I was like, I know what I've seen at this spot. I'm going to leave right now. So
Yeah.
I want to see the video. I want to leave right now. And so that's what I did. I did leave. Came back and seen the video, and it's there.
Yep.
And there's no, you can't see all of it, but you could, what I was telling you.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it out and spoil it, but I mean,
we were talking a little bit about how, since the channels have been growing, which, like mine's more recently been growing, and there's been some that have reached out and had wanted to do like a sponsorship with us, which seems to be seems to be gaining traction now. And that was pretty, I thought that was really, really cool. I mean, it helps out to get a little sponsorship, like Tesmen. I think if anybody's looked at my videos, I've got a link there. They gave me a sponsorship, for their EMF detector. And I put a link there. They offered everybody else 10% off with the code. So it's been, for me, it's been going pretty good. It's been growing. People seem to be interested. I've got some people reaching out still that I have to contact back about other sponsorships. And, I brought it up because I know yours is, you probably have, probably got a lot on your plate there too.
Oh yeah. The same with you. Great job on that, man. I'm so proud of all of us, for people reaching out to us. Thank you. I think it's in good help with the community too. I mean, talking about us and us doing the work for them and showing them proof that this thing's really out there. And I had quite a few people reach out to me. And like, I got a set of lights that I put in the video too the other night. Great company. Yeah. I mean, and a lot more reaching out.
Yeah, I know when we were talking, you had some that were big ones, pretty big ones. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, I could tell. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of interest looking at your channel and what you're doing. And from some of the names of some of the people that reached out, sending you some of their equipment to test and looking into the sponsorships, I was like, that's freaking sweet.
Yeah. PowerTac sent 2 lights out, a combo, which is coming out on the video for everybody to see. I got in touch with Scott from PowerTac, and we were talking over email and just wanted to come up with a good headlamp and flashlight for the community. Because we've been, me, you, Trapper, we've been going through lights, and you know what I'm saying? And Scott was very interested from PowerTac and sent out a headlamp and a flashlight for the test out to see if it's something that we like. Love them. The link will be down in the description and where you can get them. The video that's coming, you'll see how good they work, And it eases the load for us. You know, we don't have to carry 20 flashlights with us.
Right.
And
And it seems like it's good too to have products that are, you know, like when people reach out, in my field, the EMF detector is perfect for people who do this kind of work, whether it's just you do it on your own or you have a team or even a channel. And then useful things that we get a lot of questions about, people who are asking, what lights do you guys use? You know,
right.
asking about our equipment. And you know, being that we get, you know, I guess I can imagine you're probably kind of picky about what kind of equipment that you want to put up for, you know, on your channel. So lights, so many purposes. Anybody needs lights for whatever, hiking, you know, hunting,
Yeah.
just anything.
Yeah.
Lights are a big one for everybody.
Right. And Camel Pack was another one.
Yeah, that
And
was the one. That was the big one. I thought, I'm like, anybody in the military knows Camelback. You know, Camelback is big contractor through all the military, wear all their Camelbacks, part of your issue gear. Yeah, when I heard you say that name, I was like, man, I was like, that's a big name company. And
yeah.
it looks like they're getting more equipment. They're not just water bladders. They're kind of expanding a little bit.
Yep. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, a lot of good things coming. Like I said, it's going to be a good year for us. Not only me, you, Trapper, a lot more people are starting to reach out. You know, and it's hard for me because, and it's probably hard for you. I know it's hard for Trapper. You know, asking anybody for help is hard. You know, I mean, I know times are hard, and it's nice for people just to reach out. You know, to help us better, to see what, you know, we're trying. You know, it's not like we're not trying. We're out there in a lot of areas. I mean, it's not just one area or two areas. I mean, we're branching out to a lot of areas, you know.
And the products reflect in what we do. So I mean, it's like it works out perfectly for them and for us. I mean, that definitely we could all use. You know, anybody who runs a YouTube channel knows that any bit of extra help you can get, you know, for resources, you know, money or whatever you need to always travel, buy your equipment, and then you have a company that makes a product. That's what we use: flashlights, you know, hiking gear, EMF detectors. You know, they're doing a sponsorship with us, and they see what we use, and then if anybody else wants to get it, you know, we provide the link, which helps them find it, and then, you know, they give us like a small commission off of it, depending on what you know, whatever the deal is. But it all works out pretty good together.
Right. And I always try, you know, and even you, I always like talking to Scott. It was like, what route can we go to make it the cheapest for our community? You know, it's not just about us, it's about them. Because I want, you know, there's a lot of people that get out there and do this themselves, you know, in our community. So it's like, I want a nice combo pack for them, a good price, you know.
Right.
And it's nice that, you know, PowerTech has made that happen.
Yeah. And when you say cheapest, it's because if you look at the price range, the scale for how high up the price range can go on some of these newer flashlights and things, they can go pretty high. So even like cheaper, their cheaper end is not like it's cheap. It's like it's just their lower end, but the quality is really great. Like the flashlights that you're using with the headlamp, especially, those are great. And that's like probably some of their lower end tier things.
Right. Yeah. And to try to get that deal, you know, combined at the cheapest rate we can go, that's awesome that they were willing to work with us, and very cool of them. And I mean, I got a night vision person, you know, we're trying to get something together for us for summer, you know, and even I always want to incorporate the community, you know, if we can get it cheap, can they get it cheap, you know, or if you get it for us, can our fans and our community get it cheap also, you know? So that's a big thing. That's a big thing coming up is, you know,
that's one of the good reasons. That's one of the good reasons for for the partnership, so we can, they usually work that out like they did with just the EMF detector. Just one example with me, if you just go on and order it, the price is set, but they gave a product code to me for anybody who, my community, anybody who watches the video, sees me using it. There's that special promo code. So you're going to get a discount off of it that you wouldn't get if you just went on and bought it from, Amazon or wherever, wherever it comes from.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good piece of equipment. I said that before. It's, what's that? A 3-in-1, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a 3-in-1. Yeah. And I mean, I haven't, I didn't really get into a lot of the detail of it, but you've seen it in the videos. It's got a nice big bright screen. You could see it real easy. Nice audible detector. You can mute it, and you can change what kind of energy readings you want to measure, RF or radiated power or EMF.
Yeah. Tesmen, that's not a small company.
No, I was impressed. I mean, I just say while we're talking about it, it's got, it's packaged really well, because I bought a lot of EMF meters from, Amazon, and, you could tell that the ones that are kind of cheap, they just come to you like in a little bag with, batteries maybe, and a little direction book. But, Tesmen, man, everything in this thing here, this box here, you see it. I mean, the box is really good quality. The manual is, the manual is like a nice little book. It's really nice, and then the meter is solid. So I was really impressed when I seen it, and that's what made me decide, like, yeah, I would like to work with them.
Yeah. I can't wait. There's more to come. I mean, a lot more, and it's nice to have sponsorships and collaborations and, to help us further our goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're getting close to 10K, aren't you, for your subscribers? You're climbing up there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm climbing up there. I think I'm at around almost 9,000.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Won't be long before you're at 10K. That's a nice milestone.
Yeah, you're getting up there quick.
Yeah, I'm getting close. Be up to 3K hopefully pretty soon. Yeah. It's great that people like to watch us and share what we our content and our videos. So it seems like we're doing something right, but we're just doing the way our path has taken us, and what we decided to do with our channels and where we're going just seems to be interesting.
Oh yeah, and I love working with you.
Yeah, same here.
Trapper, and I'm glad that he is starting to film now for camera 2 instead of everybody gets to see what he's doing out on a hunt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know some people are we're like, Trapper will get better at that camera.
Well, I mean, that's something like I have never had like any kind of like study into filming, or I was never even on social media really until I started doing this. So, it's just been like, it's just been evolving, and I've been just working to get better. And, my camera work is, every time I watch my videos and I see my camera work, I'm always sitting there beating myself up over it, because it's hard to try to combine a good cinematic controlling view of what you're doing while you're actually doing what we do at the same time. It's
walking, talking, thinking, holding a camera, working the equipment.
Yeah. So,
at night.
Yeah.
Walking through the forest.
So that's hard. Do the best we can, and I try to make everyone a little bit better each time, in a way.
Yeah. That's all you can do. Listen. That's what I tell Trapper. Listen to the community, and they'll help you. And you're doing great.
Yeah, he's hard on himself, but we all are too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was going through some footage today, and we went out to the swamp again.
Yep.
And when I was coming over to your area where you made your
Structures.
Yeah, checking them out. And then when I cut across, I try to follow a lot of deer paths. I love it. For some reason, if I see a path through the forest and a deer is taking it, in my head, wouldn't you think a Bigfoot, Dogman, something like that would be tracking them also?
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. So as I was taking this deer trail and cutting up at the swamp through the pines there,
Mm-hmm.
I seen a print, and it was a pretty good print. I think I told you I did. I think I radioed over the mic, and it was on a deer trail. And then I couldn't see the next one with my eyes visually.
Right.
I walked up a little bit and was all like, okay, I don't see nothing, just one. That's kind of strange, but it was a little damp on the ground there, and it wasn't up front. But my camera, when I went like this and zoomed over, there was a bigger print. And I didn't see it while I was out there. So whatever made that first print, I think that print was like 18 and a half by like 8.5. So 18 and a half long by 8.5 wide. And then there was, like I said, it was only one. But that stride that it had to take,
big stride.
It had to be like maybe 3 of my steps.
Yeah, and I guess if you'd imagine if its feet are that big, it's probably got to have a long stride. It's probably just tall.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, how tall do you think that could have been?
Yeah, and that was. I mean, eventually you guys are going to get to see my point of view from there too, at the swamp. That was like our revisit. We found that other smaller print too nearby there, which was a really nice clear print, but I really couldn't trace any others that looked just like it that were obvious, but everything was disturbed, so it was hard to really notice it.
Yeah, it's been nice to see prints because it's been so wet lately.
Yeah, that was just another interesting time at the swamp. Remember that, man, those vocals right before I think we were done that night. Wow, that one was close behind me, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. I heard something that, I don't know, it sounded somewhat like a bark, but it wasn't a bark, but it just sounded similar to a bark, but it definitely wasn't a dog bark, and it was really close. And I looked around to see if there was anything there. I didn't see anything, but that was really, that was probably the highlight for me of when we were there, that particular thing, because that was one of the closest vocals I've heard before that was really distinct and really close. And I was like, I thought something was about to attack me. Like, I was looking around real quick. I was afraid to look the opposite way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you heard that, and then I heard something coming through, and it was pretty funny because as I remember it, you were saying, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Mike, something's coming up towards us." We're both trying to "Did you hear that? Something's coming towards us."
It was like we were in a back-to-back moment of just having to watch the 360 each direction and not really try to move, because it seemed like something was just about to, or was right there on us already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like, what the? Some weird whistling and strange. It was strange.
Yeah, some knocks too. We had some pretty distinct, sounded like knocks or breaks even.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my structures too. I posted those pictures on Facebook when I made them. That was pretty close to when we were just there, and none of them were disturbed. And I couldn't tell if anything had been altered. So I'm kind of curious to go back again and keep an eye on those, so I can actually see if there's any changes to them, because I'm curious to see, because I haven't actually tried that kind of an experiment before of making like my own structures and see what happens with them.
Yeah.
But like I was talking, Ramona was live today, and I was talking to her about them a little bit. Like she said, it's important, which I did ahead of time, was to vocalize that I made the structures for them, which I did, and I let them know that I made those structures just for them and to communicate with them, and whatever they want to do with them, and that's something that she said that it's important to do if you were to make something like that or leave something behind, is to make sure that tent is known, the intent of why you put it's known. Otherwise, if you just do something and you don't have like an exact intent, if they don't know, it could end up going bad. It might get destroyed, and they might kind of look at you as maybe trying to invade their territory by trying to make something of your own, So,
Yeah.
I could see that from talking to her today, that when I did that, that was my instinct from the start. That was the right way to go about it.
Right. Yeah. Because thinking about it, when I first started doing this, I did put some branches up when I made that lean-to,
Yeah.
just to show how to make one, and like a survival. And that was, wow, in the beginning times. When we came back, it was destroyed. Like something destroyed it. But I didn't know that, I was just doing, some tips while you were out there, hiking. And then I stopped and
Left it
built
behind.
a lean-to. Yeah. And didn't say this was my intent. Just, I didn't say none of that. And then, when we hiked back through, it was destroyed. And I was like, what? Kind of being new at this, I'm like thinking, was this a grizzly bear or something? No grizzly bears around here, but some of those, it like the down tree that I used to put the leaners on, it was like kind of like picked up and like moved over. And I was like, that had to be something big. And I did that. And I believe it was Ramona. She wrote down in the comments, they didn't like that you did that, and now I understand. Back then I didn't. So, yeah.
Yeah. So like the swamp's kind of changed up a little bit, as far as like my interaction now. I'm kind of like doing a little bit of a different kind of environmental interaction with whoever's there. Ramona said it's Satanga clan that's there, so it's a little different. I thought, mix it up a little bit since we're regular there and they're familiar with us. Just dawned on me one day, which I'm surprised I never thought about it sooner. So I might start incorporating that sometime, maybe even at Claim 3, maybe even try it somewhere else and see how something like that goes, just for more data, more information.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking at the swamp there, since there's so many little swamps, I was thinking of making, instead of bringing food for gifting, make them a tool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. You were talking about that. That's right.
Yeah. Making them like a spear and fishing spear and leaving it there. Something that they could use, and see if that would be more of a, a better gift for them.
A better gift. Yeah.
Instead of just coming, here's some food, they're interacting, coming around us. But maybe if we started building them something they could actually use, would that change their approach towards us?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't know. It's funny because as long as we've been going to the swamp, that's the first time doing that actually dawned on me. And I I think it's useful. I think it could be real beneficial because in a way it's same kind of lines. It's like making a different form of a gift. And maybe, you know, whatever it is, if you make a tool, if you make something for them, a structure, doing something like that, maybe we'll find, you know, we'll see if the interactions change, see if there's some kind of a change in the feeling or interactions.
Yeah. It brings up an idea. We should build something, sticks into the ground, and put food in there. Like they have to open it to get the food.
Yeah. Yeah, and see if you find it smashed and destroyed because they couldn't couldn't get to it. They couldn't open it, so they just just destroyed it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, about doing everything, you know, leave no stone unturned. Try it all. See what kind of action you get.
Gifting is like one of the biggest things, you know, like we always talk about, communicating your intent and showing respect to levels of offerings and gifts. So maybe there's a better way to, you know, offer and over, you know, we could start trying to do that more and more at places we're familiar with, since we're, you know, we're pretty used to most of the places we've gone with how the interaction is. So now we can kind of notice anything different by changing our gifts.
Right. Yeah. Do that at the caves.
Yeah. Start going down the list.
Yeah. Would you go into that rock structure that I found? Those big boulders, and then there was like that opening.
Well, I'll see next time we go there. I'll be able to answer that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd like to take you down there and show you that, and it let you those sticks that were leaning up against the rocks, you know, with a like that, and there was one down the middle, and then the same way those sticks were, those branches, there was curves into the rock like that. I still
that looked like something made a structure there for sure.
Yep. And then, man, that feeling that I got over there by that structure with that, you know, the whole looked like a doorway where you could walk into the rocks.
Your video went black. See how long it takes before cameraman gets back. Awkward silence. There he is. The silence was getting too awkward. I'm glad you got back.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it's like I saw you wave your hand when you were talking there, and I thought maybe, I don't know what the heck you did. I thought you did some magic trick.
That was weird. It was like something clicked. Something clicked me out of it. What the hell? My mouse just moved all by itself.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to keep an eye. We'll have to watch you here for a while and see what's going on. I was just about to talk about tomorrow going over and checking out the inside at Claim 6. Yeah. And that should be interesting. I've been there before, and I can attest to some of the things that I've experienced inside there. So plus now we got access to the upstairs, and there's a lot more to the story that I never got to explore with the rooms upstairs. So we'll get the full go tomorrow.
they have a basement?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The basement, I documented a lot of activity in the basement, and I did a video. It was my research into poltergeist. That video showed
Yeah.
the encounters I had there. Basement. I mean, I can say this. I can't remember a place where I've had as much EMF activity before. The places I've been, I've never experienced it. And in the video, you can see it. It was just constant EMF, and
Yeah, you'll have to send me
EVPs.
the link to
EVPs
the
were
video, and
crazy.
I'll put it down in the description.
I even think that I captured some poltergeist activity. Um, it was a weird occurrence when I was doing the couch interview with the homeowner, and I was sitting there, and she had already previously talked about the stories of the drawers and cabinets. She would walk out of the kitchen, and she said she's lived there. She's kind of got a sense, she's a little bit. She interacts with the spirits there. She's really in tune and understands and knows a lot about the history, and interacts with them.
Yeah.
And she walked out of the kitchen, and she said she could feel something was going on behind her, and she turned around, and all of her drawers and cabinets were open.
Ooh.
And that's the kind of stuff she talked about. And her washer and dryer doors, she could hear them opening and closing. And she was telling me about this, and we were sitting on the couch, and while we're sitting there, you can hear her washing machine timer like beeping, like something was setting the washing machine timer, because it's, it was mechanical or electrical.
Yeah.
And she didn't have anything in the washer. It wasn't like she had stuff in there that was done,
Yeah.
and it just started beeping. And I heard it a couple times, and she told me that's the washing machine she heard, and that we were hearing. And I knew then, I'm like, we're talking about it right then at the time. And it's like, how they say a lot of it feeds off the energy, more attention.
Yeah.
And I think it started to want attention. And I went, looked in there, and nothing was on. The washing machine wasn't like on already, it was off. So whatever it did, turned it on and was like actually pushing buttons. It sounded like you can hear it going beep, 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 beep. And then it did it several times and stopped. And then when I got up and looked in there, everything was off. Nothing was on. Some people said that, there's faulty washing machine timers, which is true, but I know the homeowner, and from the experiences, I think it was some of the activity she talked about. So maybe that will happen tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe if we got to try this too. Indoor and outdoor, and see if we can't get something between us.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
Yeah.
Either way, we can go out there, check the outside again, go back where we were, check that out again, go back inside, split up, however we want to do it.
Yeah. See if we get the same thing, like maybe 2 knocks on a tree. The same time I'm doing 2 knocks on a tree, you do 2 knocks on the wall, and they ask it to, we both ask it to do a tree knock or something, and you ask to knock on the wall.
Yep. Yeah, that we could have a lot of things we could try out, because that place, firsthand, I could see that there is something that is going on in there, and it seems to have poltergeist like effects. And I'm telling you, the EMF activity in there was insane. I mean, the whole time I was there, I had my meter with me, and I had it out mounted so you could see it while we were sitting, when I was downstairs and upstairs, and the activity was just constant. And it seemed like it was engaging with responses when we were talking. The responses, you could see EMF activity, EMF spikes in response to like communication. So
Yeah.
that place is charged, man. It really is charged up there.
Yeah. I can't wait. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to Rob and Alex at Ghost Gear Tech,
Okay.
and I'd like to get us all in a um, like a meeting,
Oh, okay.
trying to get them to like bundle up stuff that I could use and you could use, during hunts.
Okay.
Like they're, and this is top of the line quality stuff.
Good. I got to get an EMF pump. I keep talking about it. They're expensive, and that's something that's up there on my list of things I want to get. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll have to talk to them about that.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of good things coming. We're really out there trying, everybody. We are, man. I mean, we're trying on the hunts. And then, like I say, there's just not enough time in a day. They just seem to go by. You can be out in the forest for 6 hours and just think you've been out there for 2.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I have to watch some of the videos back to like remember a lot of the things because there's been so many different places and so many different things. It's hard to keep track of it all. Which, I understand why people write journals.
Yeah.
I
I
might have
write
to
a bunch of them. I got a bunch.
Yeah, I know you do. And for me, I kind of keep all the things, all my videos. I try to encapsulate all my documented evidence just so it's always there.
Yeah, this was just notes from when I went out on the last one.
Yeah.
This I try to keep, with a folder, and then a disc, and then try to keep the notes. So one day, this could be passed on, or somebody gets it and goes, wow, they tried this and seen this, and let's put this disc in, and oh my God, look what the community found, and read his notes.
Oh, you went all blacked out again. Excuse me. A little bit under the weather there. But if anybody's interested in seeing that experience from when I was at the home the first time, you can find it under my videos. It was one of the first videos I did when I started my channel. It was it was like MT Paranormal Life investigates poltergeist. Hey, you made it.
Yeah. Oh, but back what I was saying is, I don't know if you've seen, these are notes from the last time.
Yep.
And I try to keep notes and, the CDs and everything that, happened together in a folder, and then have the disc. And that way someday somebody might, when I pass it on, somebody's going to be like, okay, at this spot, this happened. Let's watch that CD to see, and then they're like, wow, the community found all this. And
I was going to say, you're going to have to make sure you include some kind of an instructional video on how to use a DVD player.
Right.
And a DVD player in that kit too. You might even have to get a TV that's got audio video inputs. You're going to have to put the whole kit together because that stuff is going to be extinct. I think it already might be.
Yeah,
I'm not even
it's
sure.
getting there.
I don't even know if TVs have audio video inputs anymore. I think everything's all connected through HDMI.
I think mine only has 2, and this is fairly new. It's about 3 years old, but you're right. They'll be extinct.
Yeah. Like any audio video, like devices that use those old RC jacks, the RCA jacks, audio video, those you won't even be able to, there won't be anything that uses that type of connection.
Right. And boy, man, just to think about it, I'm already at the top of the hill, and you're at the top of the hill too, aren't you? In age?
Yeah, way too much time has gone by already. It's hard to, it's kind of hard to get a grasp on, but
yeah, I'm at the back half of my time on this earth.
Can feel it. 50's coming pretty soon. It's like, I don't feel it, but I mean, I don't necessarily feel like I'm that old, but
Right.
everything else feels like I'm that old.
Right.
It's not my head.
Yeah. He said, well, I think a Trapper too. Trapper's what, 49?
Yeah, I think so. He's right about the same. I think he's just a little bit older.
Yeah. So yeah, we're all at the back half of the 9. 18 holes. We're in the back half. Yeah. Man, all the stuff that we lived through went from, I think we talked about this before, laughing about it. 8-track.
Shoot.
What was that? Tape?
Even record. I mean, if we go back to like what we grew up with, I mean, records were still there.
Yeah, records.
And then you went through 8-track and
cassette tapes.
Cassette, yeah. I mean,
Cloud.
Cassettes were more like right there with my young years where that's mostly what I was using were cassettes.
Yeah.
That was kind of the peak of that.
The Walkman.
Yeah, but they say, and I'm pretty sure there's truth to it that, our generation, like Gen X has gone through the most technological changes out of any generation so far. In in the span of our life, we've had the most changes in technology. So, that's something that like, I guess if you've grown up, if you're the same age as us, you realize how you either have to adapt or you just end up like not knowing what the hell's going on.
Right. Like, how do you use this?
Yeah, that's just like if one thing after the next. If you don't like figure out how to do it, how to use it, how to use social media platforms, how to use devices, all the, especially when we're doing this kind of stuff, we're putting stuff in files, we're editing, we're doing all that. It's like there's so much technology, that we're using. It's like you have to try to keep up with it and understand how it works, or else, you'll just end up needing somebody else to help you. And that doesn't work out so good.
Nope. I got a computer. Well, we both got a computer guy on hand, so that's good.
Yeah.
He's at the beck and call, man. I'm like, dude, I put you on speed dial. Really good guy. I appreciate him so much.
Oh yeah, the guy that worked on my computer for me.
Yeah.
He was probably the only one. I mean, I went to a computer shop because the problems I had were, man, when I was having those main computer problems, I was like, every little bit of online advice was all over the board. I mean, the problems were at like both far spectrums of what the heck could possibly be causing a problem. And after trying so many of them myself, I could never figure it out. I took it to a computer repair shop. I went through changes that I found out eventually I didn't need to do, changing battery supplies out, changing the fans out. And then the guy that you put me in touch with he figured it out like that. And that problem has never happened again. So that's the man right there.
Oh yeah. Thank God for him, man. Like I said, I was using my computer, came back. Oh, you froze up. Yep, you're back.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Was using my computer, walked away from it, came back, and then it was dead. I called him up. I was like, I need you like now. He's all like, come on. Before I even got out of the driveway and down to the road to the light, he was calling me. It's fixed.
Yeah, I need to get. Most likely, I need to get another PC, but I need to get some more storage. That's the biggest thing. Biggest thing with conserving all of this, all of these files, all the videos, all that space. It's like can never have enough space to put it on, enough storage.
Right. Yeah, thank God CDs are cheap.
Yeah. I haven't even I haven't even looked at buying. I don't know when the heck the last time I ever had a CD was.
Yeah.
I think maybe some music. I don't even know how long ago I used to have CDs I actually listened to in a player, or even DVDs. It's been a long time since I even, messed with that.
Right.
Everything's all digital now.
Crazy world we live in. Just yesterday, I had a Walkman.
It's supposed to be easier.
Yeah, that's what they say. All right, though. Good things coming, y'all. Couple shout outs. Like I said, I want to thank all the people that we're in collaboration with and sponsoring and talking about sponsoring and talking about collaborating with. I want to thank all yous. Power Tech, Scott, blessing. Like I said, we're going to put down in the description will be links and where y'all can purchase these lights. You'll see them in action coming up here on this next video. And yeah, check them out. We'll try to keep, collaborate with them to keep the prices as low as we can get them for you all.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems like they're good with that too, with getting good discounts for us when they do the collaborations. They have good discounts, and from what you told me, the lights sound like they're going to be really good discounts for people who get it through the channel link.
Yeah, and putting in the little code that's marked down there, the cameraman in there, and I believe you also get another 10% off. And when you click on that link, so on top of what you get when you put in the code, and like I said, you'll see how they work. And best headlamp, best light that I have ever used. And you've seen how strong they were.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, really small, compact, nice and light. Not compared to what I was working with, the UFO that I built, the prototype.
If you were to make one out of those lights, man, if you had like 3 or 4 of those lights that you were using, if you put them all together on that thing,
yeah, it would be. Oh yeah,
people would probably be calling the cops, complaining with all the lights. They'd probably see you from a mile away.
Yeah, over 20,000 looms out there.
They'd be all worried that there's a UFO flying around.
Yeah, but we're moving forwards, and you're doing a fantastic job, Mike.
Thank you.
Trapper, you're out there. You're doing a fantastic job too. Trapper is currently on the couch sick, so everybody wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are coming down. This big weather changes around here, especially.
Oh yeah.
Same with me. It's messing me up, sinuses and everything.
Yeah, what was it? 57 degree.
It was 67.
Change?
Yeah, it was 67, 65 or 67 degrees just the other day. And then we're out and it's like, what, 30 the next day?
Yeah, it was like 52 degree change.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but we know around here that seems to almost happen every year around here in the state, in Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Ohio.
It's just one season.
Oh, yeah. In Salt Fork, 14,000 out of 16,000 acres is going to be able to get fracked at Salt Fork. Something going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really
that conspiracy theorist guy, but there's something going on there. That's why I say check your local parks, find out why they're there.
We have to get back out there sometime soon.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that 2,000 acres that they're going to make that into Salt Fork, your state park, 2,000 acres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to let you play around an area that's been fracked.
It's going to all be off limits.
Yep. At least if we can get back up into that area where we were.
Yeah, definitely. That experiences that had last time were really interesting. I want to go back there. Probably got to get back there before they start digging it up or start working in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Check out why your state parks are around there, people. You'll find out. Used to be, developments or homes. And I mean, I said this before. How many parks have we been to? Homes used to be in them, and something going on, or some crazy story that the government was in there, the army,
Yep, just like
Helltown.
Helltown.
Yep. Yes, sirree. All right, people. Well, with that said, video coming. Definitely get it out for y'all. And Mike, thanks for jumping on.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, appreciate you. Wish Trapper well. Moose, you're at work. Oh, you're at work. I think Moose wanted to jump on with us, but he's at work, and so it's going to be a great weekend. I can't wait for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an exciting one tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot and Paranormal back to back.
Get to see what happens.
Yeah. All right. With that said, I'm Jack, the cameraman.
Mike, MT Paranormal Life.
And we will see you on the next hunt.
See ya.